Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're gonna talk about the motherfucking, this fucking super blue moon that we gonna motherfucking have on January 31st. You see what I'm saying? Now, January 31st is gonna be some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we get into anything, first of all, we need to understand what is a lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse, a lunar, it's lunar, so it's a luminary, so it's a form of a light. So we know spirits ride lights to come in forms of information or shapes and forms to so you can receive. So when we're dealing with the moon in general, the moon is connected to your vibrations, your soul. The moon is like your oversoul, your satellite, your macabre. So it's like your feelings and emotions and your vibrations is what the moon tied to. So for the most part, the moon is always affecting moods, emotions, and it could go as far as affecting the earth itself moods and emotions, which will be water and tides. Now when we have a lunar eclipse is when the moon is on the opposite side of the sun. A solar eclipse is when the moon goes in front of the sun and is between earth and the sun. So now you have to understand dynamics here. So when you're looking at the moon being on the opposite end of the sun, right, and then you have the earth in the middle, you stay on earth. So right now this becomes a good cop, bad cop type of scenario, because the sun represents your actions, the way you act and how you see things, what you're consciously aware of, the illusion, the light, things you act upon. Now the moon represents who you are, but what you react to, your emotional response to the world that you're in. So right now we're dealing with actions, reactions, yang, yin, and you're in the middle on earth. So earth is the energy of the earth element, stability, you know what I'm saying, scheduling, shape, form, growth. That's what earth represents. So this is what you're in, this is what you're learning. Now right now you're in the middle of this earth element, having to play, getting pulled between fire and water, which will be the sun and moon. We know fire can emit light. We know water can suck in light. So right now, this is what you need to understand. Things that go in, that suck in, is more dealing with the internal realm. More things that push out, that give off expression, is more dealing with the yang external realm. So when you're in the middle on earth and you're dealing with a lunar eclipse at this specific time, right, you're having to have a choice. Now this choice, when you realize something, you're realizing something with your real eyes, your real eye. So but you could be blinded by the light, so your real eye, which is your third eye or your chakra eyes, can always be quenching. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, if you was truly to realize something, that's going within. And once you realize it with your real eye, you will realize the real lies and the illusions that these physical eyes was seeing, apparently. You see what I'm saying? So right here, you make when you dealing with a lunar eclipse, on one end you're going to be dealing with the people, places, and things in your life that you make excuses for, or that you have a sense of you need to cut off but you don't, or depending on how deep you've lost and blind into that illusion, you may be really thinking that this is obligations or responsibilities of yours, right? This is going to be on one spectrum end, and you're going to start experiencing circumstances and situations that's going to start making things more apparent to you in front of you. Then with the moon side, this is going to show you what these things really mean. Now this is going to be scary. Now anytime a person who don't know themselves, or they're scared to be alone and or they're scared to be by themselves, they have to constantly doing things. So this means that they don't know themselves because they only feel comfortable when they're around others' energies and things. These kind of people is going to be very uncomfortable at this time. They're going to be smoking, they're going to be running through 10 packs of cigarettes. So if you one of these kind of people, you need to go ahead and save your money, your work check, because you're going to be smoking a lot of packs of cigarettes. Because what's happening here is, then you're gonna actually see the split version. It's going to be like split screen mode. Then you're going to be able to see the shapeless, formless realm of reality of what you see in the light. AKA, now these circumstances and situations that start to pop up, and you're gonna start to, it's gonna slowly but surely start to happen now until we get to the 31st. So the better you know how to organize yourself within these experiences, the better you get over this hump. The better seeds you plant, AKA the more vibrations and high vibrations that you want to experience, regardless of the circumstance situation that you in, the better the seeds you plant. The more you get overtaken, the worse are the seeds, and some bad shit grow from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is a circumstantial situation or a manifestation of a person, place, or thing. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, now, in this time, it's going to be a split screen mode. You're going to actually see the yin realm version of the light version of it. So these people, so what you consciously aware of, what you see, the people, places, and things, right? When the lunar eclipse happened, you're going to start to get all these new feelings and emotions, which they wasn't new. They were just buried. And see, seeds is always being planted. Now, these seeds were smaller, but at this time, they're going to grow, and you're going to be able to experience it. Now, these seeds that you experience, that you start to think is new feelings and things, are genuinely not genuinely are not new. You had these sparks of ideas and feelings about these people, places, and things. It just was to a small degree. That was a small seed being planted. Now, what's going on with the lunar eclipse? Now, the people, places, and things you was making excuses for, the lunar eclipse, you're going to get all the actual vibration that come with that shit. So when this actual person come around, you're going to actually get the actual feeling and vibration you was supposed to get. When you, the places you go to, you're going to actually get the feeling. And then that's going to be scary. Because then you're going to be like, dang, I ain't never seen it this way before. Why is this happening? Why is this I'm experiencing? Why is this person affecting me in this way? You see what I'm saying? And that's why. And then what we need to understand too is with the blue moon, see, this is when we witness a moon becoming full twice a month. See, we're only supposed to experience a moon becoming full once. But when a moon now you need to erase your mind from something eating and something being food and shedding and things of that nature. Here's what's actually happening. Here's what's actually happening. What's actually happening is, see, the moon is in a position right now where, since we're supposed to see one full moon every month, since we see two based upon when relative when the last full moon was at and how late in the month it happened, when we got two full moons in this month, now we off rotation. I don't want to say we off rotation, but we're witnessing another rotation path. You see what I'm saying? A rotation path that we usually don't witness. Now, remember when I said that the space is the rainbow waters and you're just seeing all the colors as one because you're small, so it seems dark. But once you start to perceive and you can see a planet that take a lesser form, which is just basically you taking a particle out of a wave because you're paying attention to one specific thing. The color of the planet or the color of that object is basically, is basically the representation of the rod of the wave that is riding in the rainbow waters. So like the sun is in a rotation where it's riding the wave of the color spectrum of yellow. So when we pay attention to the sun is going to represent the yellow energy. So this is why you need to understand the meanings of colors and things. Now this is why we call it the blue moon, and as Archangel Uriel, as true spirits. When you guys witness two full moons, you witness that second full moon was supposed to be in the next month. But since it's in that 1 month, our Earth, where we're traveling, is still in an area and location of our rotation. So now rotations, we're witnessing another rotation of the moon that we wouldn't normally see rotate. You see what I'm saying? So the color of the moon is going to be what we can actually see. So when we pay attention to the moon, we're going to see now the reason why the moon is blue. Now, reason why we have lunar eclipse. This goes back to my science of the Earth sign, of your Earth sign. Relative, when we look at the sun, we say, yeah, the sun is in Aquarius. But if you was on the sun, relative to the sun, Earth will be opposite. So since you're on Earth, your Earth sign will be your opposite to your sun sign. You see what I'm saying? So Earth right now, relative to the sun, is in Leo. Right? So when we get this lunar eclipse, when the moon get ready to have a lunar eclipse, it's actually closer to the Earth. You see what I'm saying? It's closer to Earth, and it's on a double rotation path. So we're going to be able to see it. So it's going to appear bigger. You see what I'm saying? It's going to appear way bigger. Because we're way closer to the moon. You see what I'm saying? This makes, don't that make it all, this is why all astrologers need to start incorporating Earth itself. So Earth is it's opposite and opposite in degree wise. So for the most part, when the sun is in Aquarius, Earth is going to be in Leo just as much as the moon. See what I'm saying? So when the moon is going to appear a lot closer to us. And the reason why we see it as blue, because it's going to start, it's like riding our spectrum wave a little bit. So it's really like, we think what we see in blue is really just a higher density of our green, but that's another video. But for the most part, we're going to see it as blue because the rotation wave that the moon is riding, the wave that we're riding, since that moon is a double full moon within that month, then we end up being closer, so we end up sharing the wave. So we're riding the same wave spectrum as the moon, or the moon is riding the same rotation spectrum as us. So we're gonna perceive us as the same color. You see what I'm saying? Because we're riding the same rainbow water wave. You know what I'm saying? And this don't happen very often. This only happens when time's set up where the moon end up making 2 rotations within 1 month. So when that happens, since we're still in that location, we're going to perceive a rotation from the moon that we don't normally perceive. And the moon is a lot closer. And now since it's a lunar eclipse, right? It's a lunar eclipse, we're in the same color spectrum wave. So that's what creates a super moon. Because now the moon have super effect on us. And we have super effect on the moon. And it's that much apparent. So the things that draw you into the dark, what's absorbing the light, rainbows and shit like that. So the emotions and feelings of the people, places, and things that's taking shape in the yang realm, which is the sun, with the sun illuminating, you're gonna get enticed by the moon a lot more. So that's this good cop, bad cop thing, you're gonna get enticed by the moon. So if you are a negative person, you're gonna get enticed by all these negatives, and you're gonna find every negative thing in the people, places, and things that you see. If you are a positive person, right, you may get lost into the illusion of the light. Now, ain't that some shit? Now, you have to be a balanced person. If you're a person, a light worker, or you too much in the light, you're going to get lost into the illusion to the point that these feelings and emotions that come upon you, you're going to be like a preacher light. You're going to be like, oh, I don't need to listen to this. I need to listen to the word. I need to take care of these responsibilities. I don't need to cut these people off. I just need to stay strong until this time pass. See, and you fucking up your growth. You fucking up your shit by thinking like that, when that's the wrong kind of seeds to plant. That's the wrong fucking seeds to plant. See, light and dark has nothing to do with good and bad. They're not even opposites. Both of these are just separate energies. So if you see the moon related to one energy, and you see the sun related to one energy, and you see one is going to be more impactful than the other, then you need to deflect and disconnect those programs that you might be into that make you think light and dark is correlated to what you think it is. No, you're going to need this. This dark is going to show you what actually the sun is trying to play. The sun, the role is trying to, look, the light and the sun, all these are just bodies. Nothing is condensing into anything. These are the separate forms that spirits can take. Nobody is becoming a spirit. You are already a spirit in this world. See what I'm saying? You're already in that world. Then you got this world, and that world is more powerful than this world. So that body can control this body. Same way you in this world trying to create extended bodies that you can control, that you would call as robots. This is a robot, a lighter. It's a fucking robot. See what I'm saying? Now, you have to understand. Now, with this fucking super blue moon, that just means it's riding the same energy. So the moon loves that. So what's happening here is it's going to give you extra emphasis about your stability, about your growth, about your schedule, about your routine, about your caring. So like I said, if you're a negative person, then the things you care about in your growth may be absorbed in a negative frequency vibration. These things is going to entice you more. If you are a positive person, right, then you may be up under good vibrations and good things. But make sure you're not attaching that too much to the light. Because being too much Positive is correlated to light, and light is blindness and illusion. This is why people get taken advantage of in love circumstances. This is why nice people, the good die young. This is why nice people always get pushed over. You see what I'm saying? Because you're too much in the light. Now, I'm not saying be a bad person. What I'm saying is your way of looking at it is wrong. Being in the light is simply just being consciously aware of something, and being too consciously aware, being too enlightened. You know what I'm saying? That's like you being a person that you know you can do this, but you so enlightened and you so consciously aware of what can happen and what not can happen that you choose not to experience that. Yet that experience is what helps you develop your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas, which is your spirit. And the moment you start to add things to that experience, like it's bad or good or it's wrong, is the moment you start to put yourself in spiritual cages and spiritual roofs and spiritual jails. You end up experiencing all forms of jails down here. Religion, real jail. This is why every jail give you a Bible. Then religion, you're already in the mental jail. Then whatever spiritual practices that you're doing, all that is a form of jail. Now, when I talk about free, y'all get confused out of that, because without structure, now y'all think, oh, he talk about free. If everything is just in chaos, then how the fuck? See, y'all. When I say free, I can just be talking about free within the mind. And if everybody free within the mind, we will all agree to the terms and conditions that no one should be caged in. So when everybody agree on those terms and conditions, anybody we see being caged in, it'll be the majority over the minority. We'll all be like, let that person go. Everybody have the freedom of something. So once we start to build on that, we will develop a structure and system built off that kind of energy. See, it's never truly chaos. It's just people misunderstand things. But this is going to get us a clearer understanding of what chaos really means when we get this motherfucking lunar eclipse on the motherfucking 31st. And then the moon is already at odds with a bunch of energies. It's going to be at odds with, I think, Venus still, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be at odds with Venus, Mercury, shit. You see what I'm saying? Only thing that's gonna have help is Uranus, because Uranus is in Aries. That's the only help that the moon gonna have. So, you know what I'm saying? The feelings and emotions that you get gonna be unique and original. It's gonna have the gift to. Now, anytime a gift, because a trine creates a gift. A gift creates a trine creates a gift, but a gift is something that you got to get off your ass and do, because you'll procrastinate on it. A gift is like something you already know how to do, so you take it easy on people, or you take it easy, you really don't do it, you procrastinate, you sleep on it, end up never doing it. You need a person, place, or thing in your life to set a fire under your ass to do it, or if you got some other angles in your chart, it'll make you remind yourself, like, let me get the fuck up and do this shit. That's your gift. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know, with this super moon, the only help it's going to have is Uranus. So the only gift that you're going to actually have with these feelings and emotions is being your own individual. You being able to change, rebel, and oppose against. But see, try not to change, repel, and oppose against others, people's vibrations. That take it to a negative end or disagreeable. Or, you see what I'm saying? But for the most part, you're going to have these unique and original experiences for yourself. And you're going to understand these things that you see in the light. These people, places, and things, and these situations that you're consciously aware of in your life, you're going to be able to see the actual feel the actual vibrations of these, what they really mean. And it's going to be up to you to take care of that experience. Don't get scared. Don't run from it. Don't be like, oh, nah, this is just how I'm feeling right now. Because, nah, dive into that. Be like, oh, okay. So this is why I feel like this with this person or this location, this thing. And then build on that. And then start to organize what kind of seeds you're going to plant. So you will start to manifest what kind of circumstance or situation you want to experience from these people, places, and things. Either if that's cutting off, or either if that's shortening up time, or either if that's adding on, or either if that's a relationship you want to cling to, or whatever you're trying to do. This is going to be your time to do it. And the time is actually started now. So, you know what I'm saying? It's the 26th. So, yeah, y'all motherfuckers, y'all need to be starting that now. Y'all pretty much probably seeing that shit now. See, everything is like a transition. Same way, it's called getting prepared. Same way, there's a lot of talk and things that's going on about this right now. Same way, that's showing you that energy, frequency, vibration is here now. Or you wouldn't realize it. See what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how that's going to affect you. So, you know, be prepared. But, you know, it's going to take more of your soul. And the things that you're consciously aware of, you're going to see the actual makeup of it. So if your ass been in some type of rotation or experience that you've been making up excuses like, but I like to do this, you're going to see how fucked up that shit is and how other people see it. Or you're going to see how fucked up it is and you're going to actually realize like, damn, I really need to change that shit. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.